Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Midgard Golf. And we're out here today at probably the most beautiful resort course that I've played yet. The Sandia Golf Club in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And let me tell you, this whole property is just absolutely outstanding. I mean, the golf course, the restaurants. I went to the restaurant called I think it was the council something or other. I can't remember what it was now, but it was their steakhouse in the casino there, and what did I have? I had a steak and enchilada combo. And yeah, that was absolutely amazing. The service was amazing. Service at the pro shop was amazing. Absolutely everybody on this property just took care of me so well. Can't say enough good things about them. So if you happen to be looking for a trip down to the Albuquerque area, then definitely don't pass up Sandia here. Resort and casino. And of course, this magnificent and beautiful golf course. So, and if you're liking this content out here with us at Midgard Golf, then throw us a like and subscribe. You know we would like to see you back for some more beautiful content that we've got coming your way. And a whole bunch of content that we've already got up on the channel for just tons of courses that we've vlogged in the past that we'd love you to check out. So anyway, without further ado here, on to the course. So, yeah, I'm playing the course here from... Let's see here, 3 up. The 3 gentlemen that I was playing with tend to play here a lot, and well, that's where they wanted to play from. And I was like, you know what? Looking at the yardage there at 6,671 yards, I was like, that looks just cozy to me. So let's go ahead and crack it from there. So starting off here with the number 11 handicap on the course. Ranging out for me at 325 yards and tipping out at 380 yards. So pretty stock standard par 4 here. Now from the tee box, it's looking like, wow, kind of a blind shot right off the rip here. Yeah, it's not that bad though. So over that kind of desert mound over there off to the left, the fairway does open up quite a bit over there. So if you go straight over that mound and put it out there at least 250 or so, if you're playing from the tee boxes that I'm playing from, then yeah, you're going to be safely in the fairway, and you're going to have quite a good look on this green as well. That said, if you take the same line so far as your aiming position goes and you hit a cutout there, then you'll probably be A-OK as well. However, you'll likely be contending with 2 fairway bunkers that are guarding the right side of the fairway there. So, kind of close to where you're likely to land your ball. So that's unfortunate. Up the left side, you've got nothing in the way of bunker trouble until you get up to the green, where you're going to have one small green side bunker and then another kind of larger one just before that, probably about 40 yards out from the green or so, maybe 30. Just that uncomfortable distance to make it a tough shot. And then, and then there's going to be another bunker right behind the green there. So that's pretty much what you're dealing with for this first hole. Absolutely beautiful view onto this course. So let's give it a rip, driver in hand, and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the second hole and another par 4 for us here. A little bit longer this time. Playing for me at 373 yards and tipping out at a whopping 459 yards. So pretty lengthy indeed. And the tee box in between that is 413. So yeah, pretty tough par 4 here for the second hole. But at the number 3 handicap, you kind of expect it to be. So that said, though, yeah, so you've got some desert terrain over there off to the right, and as you look from the tee box, if this is the first time you played, it might be kind of sort of a mystery as to how far that desert actually creeps out, but those trees should tell you that it doesn't really creep out that far, easily clearable. However, the further right that you go, the more that it does kind of extend out there. So, but I mean, that's a huge slice to end up catching that desert terrain way out there. So wouldn't really worry about that. Yeah, definitely I'm saying the right is the good side miss. You actually have the fourth hole that's adjacent to this hole over there off to the right, and to the left you've got nothing but desert, so no reason to flirt with all that. You do have kind of an island of desert terrain out there right in between the fourth hole and this second hole here, so yeah, there's that to worry about if you do carve one out there to the right. But apart from that, there's a whole bunch of grass to play with, so I really wouldn't worry about it. If you happen to miss left, then you've got 3 nice pretty bunkers there waiting to capture your ball right next to the cart path. So yeah, I mean, either way you go, you could be messing with some sand. The further down you go on the fairway, the narrower it gets. So be leery of that if you're looking to pound one all the way down there. It better be an accurate one. When you get up to the green, you've got nothing to contend with in terms of bunker trouble. Just green grass all the way around and a little bit of desert terrain that creeps up to the right side of the hole, almost in front of it. So the left side angle is quite a nice angle to play from, but the right side of the fairway is definitely the safer play. So, driver in hand, I'm hitting cuts, as you well know by now, if you've been watching the channel for a while. So, yep, I'm just going to play it out at that left line and cut it back over from there. Let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the third hole in our first par 3 of our round here. Playing for me at 179 yards and tipping out at 189. So, and actually the tee box is next back from ours is right on top of ours. It's also 179 yards, so might as well have just been playing those for this hole anyway. But so yeah, healthy par 3 indeed there at, let's call it $180, right? But anyway, and pretty flat all the way. Maybe slightly downhill, but not enough to really make all that much of a difference. So yeah, force carry pretty much the whole way there until, well, actually it looks like it's force carry the whole way, but really you have a little bit of fairway length grass there before the bunker that you can clearly see right in front of the green. And then there's one more bunker kind of to the back and left of the green. But yeah, that's really all you got to worry about. But if you do happen to miss like really short, like dismally short of the green, which nobody wants to see on a par 3, but if you do, then a fair chance that you'll end up in some grass. So yeah, looks a bit more intimidating off the tee box than it really is. Let's see here. So far as the miss is concerned, with that bunker there kind of favoring the left side of the green in the back there, I'm going to say the right side is the good side miss, just because you have a healthy amount of grass to play with over there. It tends to be a little thick here, but yeah, apart from that, I mean, it's a downhill chip, so you got that working for you. However, if the pin happens to be on the left side of the green, then yeah, you're going to be having yourself a downhill chip if you do miss right onto a slope that would, lead you up to the green. So yeah, make sure you put some spink on it. You're going to watch me make that mistake of not doing that right now. Foreshadowing. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the fourth hole in a very healthy par 4 we have here for us. Playing for me at 406 yards and tipping out at 515 yards. Yeah, that's some crazy distance there for a par 4, that's for sure. And the tee box in between is 449. So, yeah, pretty brutal par 4 here, that's for sure. So far as length is concerned, anyway. So far as trouble is concerned, not really all that bad. So, yeah, I mean, again, you've got the second hole adjacent to the right, just like you had this hole adjacent to the right coming out here. So, yeah, you've got that working for you. But apart from that, if you do happen to miss your ball way too far to the right over there, you might end up having to actually contend with the giant lake that's kind of adjacent right to the green, and then kind of long, or, behind it and canted off to the right as well. So, yeah, pick your poison. I guess if you like to see the lake in the backdrop as opposed to, right in front of you where you're having to kind of clear it, then, yeah, you might want to miss left. But, yeah, if you do miss too far left, though, then you're going to be out in the boondocks, out there in the kind of thick desert terrain out there. So definitely wouldn't want to be out there. So, yeah, I mean, I'd say still yet, the right is the good side miss. I'd take the cart path line if you're going to hit a fade out there, and then let it kind of fall back from there. If you're going to hit a draw, then I'd aim at kind of the desert island over there off to the right and then draw it back in from there. Depending on, how much you fade or draw the ball, obviously. So, yeah, that's about all you got to worry about. And then right next to that lake that I was talking about earlier, up there next to the green, is one tiny little bunker there off to the right. But if you happen to get in that bunker, then it's almost kind of a gift, because if that bunker wasn't there, then your ball would stand the chance to kind of trundle on down into the water. So anyway, it's kind of there to guard you if you happen to miss right there. So, without further ado, driver in hand, let's give it a rip and see what we can do on this long par 4. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 5th hole. And coincidentally, our first par 5 of the day out here. And it's the 5th handicap, so a whole bunch of 5s on this hole here. Makes it easy to remember everything, doesn't it? But anyway, so, yeah, this hole here playing for me at 610 yards and tipping out at 662. So, yeah, and the tee box in between us there is 637. So, yeah, again, healthy hole. Nice long par 5 here. So, yeah, I'd say, oh boy, if you're going to get this one in 2, I mean, good luck to you. You better be hitting a 400-yard drive. And if you do hit that 400-yard drive, then you might end up finding yourself in this nice big desert cutoff that kind of slices the fairway in 2 before you get up to the the long fairway that'll take you on the rest of the way to the green. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of a losing proposition as it is. So, yeah, brutality. So far as bunker trouble is concerned, you've got one fairway bunker that's more or less in the fairway off to the right side of it and kind of narrows it up there for a bit. And then after that, in the second fairway, you've got 2 fairway bunkers there off to the left side of the fairway that you're likely going to be staring straight at for your second shot. And then as you make your way to the green, you're going to have one final bunker off to the right side of it. If you happen to be taking your shot, though, from the right side of the first fairway and you're trying to get home in 2, then that bunker off to the right side of the green will appear as though it was in front. It'll be right in front of you. You're going to have to contend with it. So anyway, to strategize this hole here, yeah, I mean, you definitely want to draw shape if you've got it. And if you do, then I'd aim right at that bunker out there in the in the first part of the fairway and then pull it back in from there. If you're hitting a cut, no trees or anything really blocking your way from doing that. Just take the cart path line, well, the kind of the desert washout line there off to, and then fade it back from there. And just try not to cut it right into that trap over there off to the right, because that's certainly in play. So, anyway, there's the hole. So without further ado, driver in hand, of course, let's give it a rip and see what we can do on this beast of a par 5. Let's check it out. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 6th hole and the number 1 handicap on this course. And I'll say that is well deserved. Kind of a head scratcher here for what you're going to do in terms of the risk reward. No matter how you shake it, you've got a healthy amount of forced carry off the tee box, whether you play off to the fairway to the right and then, have yourself another forced carry shot onto the green from there, or go for the much smaller and much further out fairway off to the left. But if you happen to catch a piece of that, then you're going to have a nice little easy flip wedge onto the green. But let you come up short or miss pretty much in any direction, and you're going to have a real nasty desert lie to deal with in order to try to get on this green in regulation. So pick your poison. It's almost like Jack Nicklaus came out here and designed this one hole and said, you know what? Yeah, risk reward. That's what I do, like it's my job. So, yeah, that's exactly what you're looking at here. You take the risk by going left. I mean, it's still risky going right. I mean, just less risky and certainly more inviting looking off the tee box, that's for sure. So, yeah, I mean, as I was recording this, I was like, oh, wait a minute. That's not even like the way we're supposed to go over there. It's over there, off to the left. And hence I shut off the camera and then started it back up again. So, there you have it. Anyway, let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the seventh hole. And the second and final par 5 for this first part of this two-part series out here at Sandia Golf Club in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So, yeah, now that I made it past that number 1 handicap, and oh boy, what an approach shot was that, huh? After a little pit stop here at the latrine, and we're on our way again. So, yeah. So, anyway, that was super cool. Nice to be able to screw up your drive and still clean it up and make par. That's cool. But anyway, so this hole here, playing for me at just 507 yards and tipping out at 592. So for me at 507, you're thinking, okay, well, that's gettable. Yeah, it is, no doubt, for the yardage, right? But, yeah, you've got a whole lot to contend with right off the tee box here. It really makes it kind of a nervous tee shot. So you've got that kind of desert terrain that you're staring at over there off to the left of the fairway. You're kind of guarded from view of looking at a whole lot of the fairway to the right, but it actually opens up quite a bit over there off to the right. So that's definitely what I'm saying is the good side miss, since you've got that bunker right in the middle of the fairway. And then you've got 3 more over there off to the left. Really no reason to hit a draw on this hole unless that's all you're hitting on the day you happen to be out here. So anyway, and if you are, then boy, I would take it way to the right and then pull it back in from there to make sure you avoid all of that desert terrain. That's for sure. After that, if you're not going for the green in 2 and you're laying up, you're going to have 2 more bunkers at the kind of the right side run out of the fairway before you run into this kind of desert terrain cutout again that will pretty much take you all the way up to the green. And the green is like a kind of an island of grass. There's a little bit of kind of fairway and rough length grass all the way around the green, but apart from that, it's kind of on its own. It's not really connected to the rest of the hole at all. So kind of a neat green complex, I'd say. But you do have a fair amount of backboard support over there off to the left and kind of directly behind the hole as well. Off to the right side of the green is also this nice big old bushy tree that, well, you're probably not going to want to contend with. So I'd say if you're laying up on your second shot, definitely lay up closer to the left. That'll give you the most inviting view onto the green. But if you're going for it in 2, well, God bless you. Fair winds and following sails, and hope you make it for that eagle putt. So, without further ado, driver at hand, I'm going to just cut it over that bunker there that you can see in the middle of the screen and see if I can't get up on the high side of this fairway off to the right. Let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 8th hole and the second and final par 3 for us today. Well, for this first part of this two-part series out here at Sandia Golf Club. So, yeah, a very much more so inviting par 3 for the distance for us this time, just 165 yards. But from the tips, it's actually a little longer than the first par 3, playing at 191. And then the tee box right in the middle there is at 181. So, yeah, I mean, just a cozy little 9-iron for me is all I'm going to have to play on this hole, which I love. But that said, I mean, the miss here, yeah, I don't know that you really want to miss anywhere. It's pretty well guarded by bunkers there. You've got a bunker right in front of you guarding the dead center front of the green. And then you've got two pretty sizable bunkers there off to the left, and then one more kind of small bunker there off to the right. So I guess if you have to take your chances with anything, then the right side would be the natural good side miss, just because there's the least amount of bunker trouble there to kind of catch your ball. Yeah, but that said, and also those bunkers there off to the left are, I'd say those are a little more difficult to play out of too. So yeah, right side miss is definitely favorable. That's for sure. Let's see here. Other than that, there's not much to it. You can miss long though. There's a fair amount of grass long. So if you're kind of in between clubs for whatever the yardage is for you on the day that you're out there, depending on what tee box you're playing, then I'd probably step it up and play the longer club, just because the long miss is yeah, a little more inviting than the short. So anyway, there you have it. So, like I said, 9-iron in hand. Let's give it a rip. We can't stab this green. Let's check it out. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 9th hole, and of course the final hole for this first part of this two-part series out here at Sandia Golf Club. So if you're liking this content, again, please smash that like button and that subscribe button, and follow us for more content, and we'll be bringing it to you, that's for sure. And of course the back 9 out here at Sandia coming up next, which is absolutely gorgeous, especially the finishing hole. The 18th out here at Sandia with the waterfall, oh, just absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to showcase it to you. You're going to love it. But anyway, actually we drove by it in the first clip in this video, so if you're paying attention to that, then yeah, you kind of saw a sliver of what the 18th looks like, at least backwards anyway. So this hole here, another healthy par 4 for us here, playing for me at 395 yards and tipping out at 480. 480 that is. So yeah, brutal. And then the tee box in between those playing at 421. So anyway, this hole here, hard dog leg right from the tee boxes here. Lots of forced carry right off the rip. Well, I mean, not a whole lot, not from my tee boxes. From the tips there certainly will be. But yeah, so definitely a cut is what you want here. But I mean, if you're hitting a draw, then nothing's going to be preventing you from doing that. So far as like tree trouble or whatnot. over there off to the right. You're just going to have to probably be aiming OB and then suck it back in from there in order to be in a good position to take your second shot up onto this green. But if you do have the big old power fade in the bag on the day, then definitely whip it out. This is your time to shine. So for your second shot there, you're going to have a bit of force carry again, as you've got some kind of desert terrain washout that splits or cuts off the fairway and will pretty much take you all the way up to the green. If you happen to miss the green to the right, there's some fairway length grass that will catch your ball and let you have a nice easy chip up onto the green. But well, it's your second shot, right? Trying to get GIR, so we're not concerned about that. And it's a pretty sizable green too, so no worries. If you happen to miss kind of back and left, then there's two pretty sizable bunkers back there that are waiting to snatch up your ball. And if you happen to get in one of those bunkers, then it's likely going to be a kind of a downhill rollout for you coming out of them. So I'd really try to steer clear of those at all costs. So anyway, driver in hand, of course, and I'm going for that big old power fade, baby. So let's rip it and see if we can't punch it all the way down there and get kind of a close wedge shot up onto this green. And until next time, as always, I hope that you all have a marvelous day.
Yeah, that's going to be nice.
Really good.
I like that.
Alright. I'll take your word for it.
It's going to be 100 in.